Welcome to the National Briefing. My name is Kelly Nash. I hope you and your family had an awesome Thanksgiving. You enjoyed all the football games. You enjoyed all the food. You enjoyed all the fellowships. Maybe you were lucky, one of those families where everybody kind of sees eye to eye politically. Otherwise, it was a little awkward around the house. And obviously, the mood was severely diminished by the activities that took place on Wednesday leading into the holiday, when you have a horrible event in Washington, D.C. A 29-year-old Afghanistan citizen, Ramanullah Lakhanawala, drove all the way from Bellingham, Washington, to Washington, D.C., literally crossed the entire country. It seems the sole purpose would be to kill people. He shot and now confirmed dead 20-year-old Army Specialist Sarah Beckstrom. Also shot and critically wounded. He's still in critical condition as I'm recording this on Friday. This was Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf. If I understand correctly, this was they had been sworn in 24 hours or so earlier. First day on the job. Brave folks who were willing to put their life on the line to defend this country. I have a proposition that I'm not hearing anybody talk about it yet, so maybe I'm the first one to throw out this conspiracy theory. The conspiracy theory goes as such. The individual, Ramanullah Lakhanawala, wanted to serve alongside American military members in Afghanistan. That's why he was given the opportunity to come to the United States. We all agree, I think even the Democrats agree, that what Joe Biden did in Afghanistan was unforgivable, unforeseeable how bad it was. Nobody expected him to screw it up that bad. It looked like the fall of Saigon. We were in control. We had control. If we were pulling out because the military operations were ending, and then everything went to hell in a handbasket over like a week-long period because Joe Biden just continues to screw everything up. So now you got 75,000 Afghanistan people who fought alongside the U.S. military, gave us insights onto where the Taliban would be and those types of things. And he offers this opportunity, and I think most Americans agreed with it at the time, bring them to the United States so that they can get out of harm's way because they're going to be murdered. And their families can come too. So 75,000 of them end up here in the United States. Now, by now you've seen the clips. They've been running them since Friday, so I'm not going to reiterate them. But all of the Biden administration is saying we fully vetted all of them. MSNBC, CNN, the mainstream media, they're all pushing back as Donald Trump saying they're not vetted. They were not vetted because it's not possible to vet somebody from a third world country. When you say they're fully vetted, what did their criminal records say? Oh, they don't keep criminal records. What about mental health checks of the past? We don't keep those. We don't even have those. We don't even have mental health checks in third world countries. So you could not have fully vetted them. The only thing you could have done was give them an interview. And the interview, I'm sure he was fine. He said something along the lines of, I wanted to help the United States get democracy into our country and overthrow this horrible regime, the Taliban. He probably said something like that. And yes, they bring them to, now where do they bring them? Bellingham, Washington. Now, if you know anything about Bellingham, it's one of the most liberal communities in America. Rich, white women fill that community. And I'll also say beta males. Beta males with rich white wives who rule that community with a liberal fist. This is my theory, that this individual, Ramanullah Lakhanawala, wanted to be an American. He gets into one of the most liberal communities in America. He's exposed to a nonstop barrage of MSN Now, CNN, and liberal white women wherever he goes, talking about the same thing. They're all saying the same message. Donald Trump is an authoritarian who's trying to screw over the American people by using the National Guards as an intimidation factor in the upcoming midterms. He's going to squash democracy. He's going to steal the election. And the only way he can do it is by sending these National Guards people into the major cities. Now, we've heard this theory floated from politicians on news channels and just liberal whack jobs everywhere for many months, that this is the main purpose of what we're doing with the National Guard. If this individual believes that and wants to be an American, it's not really unthinkable that he's willing to put his own life on the line in order to try to stop that from happening. He thinks he's doing something good. He's coming to the nation's capital to send a message to the president that you don't get to steal elections. And he shoots 2 National Guards people. And again, what a tragedy. What a tragedy. Now, thankfully, it appears that this individual is going to survive the shooter. He's in serious condition as of the time of this recording. Trump, in response to all of this, says, I will, quote, I will permanently pause migration from all third world countries. Now, I've often thought we should do that anyway, or be at the very least really, really careful with people who come in from third world countries because of a mindset. The mindset of a nation is reflected in how they're run. If you have a country that's filled with corruption and crime and violence, that is the mindset of the majority of the people. In fantasy land, it's just a small group of people who have seized power from the sheep who are too weak to defend themselves. That's not real life. Real life is, this is what we want. And as a U.S. citizen, we should have seen this lesson taught to us over and over again. No matter where you've gone the last 70 years or so as the United States military and tried regime change, try to help the people get freedom, it always goes back to the authoritarian. It always goes back to some sort of crazy communist. Why? Because that's what the people want. You don't want it, and there's a minority of people in those countries that don't want it, but the majority want it. You cannot change their culture. So, is it possible that inside these countries there's people who want freedom, that believe in democracy, that believe in capitalism? Yes, there are a few, but you've got to be very careful with those people because they could also very easily be sent here to try to infiltrate the country and cause chaos. We already have enough chaos in the United States of America brought on by our own homegrown insurrectionists. I'm looking at you, National Librarian Union. What they have done over the last 30 years with the school books is shocking. We finally started seeing the results during 2020 and 2021 when all these school board meetings were like, wait a minute, what's in the school library? It was also affiliated with the school teachers unions across the country, who for 30 years or so have been indoctrinating a lot of our students into a socialist way of thinking. Previous generations, whether you were native born or you migrated to the United States, all agreed on the basic principles of capitalism, democracy, freedom, smaller government. We all agreed on it. The phrase e pluribus unum, out of many, one. We all agreed. We may have had different backgrounds, but we all agree on this. The people who came from foreign countries, they wanted to shed that country and their mindsets and become an American. In the United States now, we don't have that. As a matter of fact, let me just play you this little clip. This is in Dearborn, Michigan this week. This is an individual named El Hajiz Mahmoud. He's leading a rally with a police escort in Dearborn for his safety. The Intifada revolution. Intifada, to shake off. How do you shake off? Usually with suicide bombings and stabbings and the such. That is what the Intifada is. The revolution that they're looking for is here in the United States, and we're helping that now. The United States local governments are helping people like him in Dearborn, Michigan, stage a revolution against the United States of America. This is how the nation dies. This is how freedom is lost. When Joe Biden and the left talked about, it's a fight for the soul of this country, they're right. We're fighting for do you want America to be strong and independent and women don't have to wear, hijabs and all these other things? If you want the way America coulda, shoulda, woulda been, we need to fight for the soul of this nation and stop people like that. And I'm thankful that Donald Trump is pausing the migration from the third world countries. We have much more to say about this coming up on the National Briefing.